Hi, my name is Nuyet Tran, and I'm doing my third presentation of a famous labor leader on Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa began his career in a grocery chain where the worker conditions were very poor and the pay was substandard. He took note of the situation and began to organize a union for the unhappy workers. It was not long before he rose to leadership. In 1932, after getting kicked out of the grocery chain, Hoffa got involved and became a member of the local 299 Teamsters in Detroit. It was the result of Hoffa's effort that united local union trucker groups into one enormous body. The Teamster Union had 75,000 members in 1933. It grew to 170,000 members in 1936 and impressively topped a million members in 1951. It was because of Hoffa's role in the union's tactic of quickie strikes, secondary boycotts, and other means that helped bring up the Teamsters in a great position of power. Historically, one of the most powerful unions in the United States, eventually with 1.5 million members, all in his leadership. In 1957, Hoffa became the general president of the Teamsters at the convention in Miami Beach, Florida. It took place of his predecessor, Dave Beck, after he was indicted and convicted of fraud and went to prison. To judge how strong Hoffa was becoming, President George Meany tried to expel the Teamsters Union from the American Federation of Labor and Congress of the Industrial Organizations and wanted Hoffa to step down as president. However, Hoffa ignored his request and continued to build the union. In 1964, Hoffa brought nearly all over-the-road truck drivers under one national master freight agreement. He then tried to get work. He then tried to work on the airline workers, but then he ran into some trouble. He was being investigated for fraud and his link to the mafia, and then later for attempted bribery of a grand juror. He was sentenced 13 years to prison, but only served 5 with the help of President Richard Nixon. After his release from prison, Hoffa was awarded $1.75 million in pension. That has never happened before. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters endorsed Richard Nixon in his presidential re-election bid for the Republican Party and halted any support for the Democratic Party. Of course, people began to speculate the connection between Hoffa's early release from prison and the Teamsters' support for Nixon in 1972. On July 30th, 1975, Hoffa disappeared, and many speculated that two mafia leaders, Anthony Giacalone and Anthony Provenzano, was involved with his death. In conclusion, although Jimmy Hoffa is greatly vilified, in his early days as a union leader, he helped improve a lot of the union workers. But as the union got stronger, he and other big shot union leaders got involved with organized crimes. This turned them into exploiters of the very workers they were supposed to help. This is the biggest mistake that he made, and it could serve as an example for us today. Hoffa and big unions, because of their power and money, also corrupt the political, press, and politicians. We have to learn how a powerful organized force can hurt all of America, even though it portrays itself as for the little man.